He's back. I just had him on, but I have more questions. Rainier Zittelman is here. He's author of New Space Capitalism, Entrepreneurship Path to the Stars. Mars colonization is where I want to go with this. Good morning, Rainier. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Here is 3 p.m. in Germany.
Oh, well, good for you, because I can't wait for 3 p.m., to be honest with you. All right. So, you and I talked before about the fact that it's inevitable. That's why we race to get our flags stabbed in the dirt on the moon and everywhere else that we go, because we want to claim it like the colonizers did back in the day. Some people like to call it imperialism and ridiculous names that don't apply to 2026, but we got to do it. Somebody's got to go there. And if we're going to do the work, it's going to be ours, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's good you compare it with the history of the American West.
Yeah.
And it's this go west. And to be honest, I like the squatters in the history of the Americans. They took the land and then they did something with it. And only later it was legalized by the Homestead Act. And I think it will be similar with the moon and the Mars. I think the key is private entrepreneurship, not government-led space flight.
Right. I'm never going to leave Earth, because if God wanted me on Mars, he would have put me there. But, some people are going to want to go. The only thing is, if your machines stop working, you're dead. So I don't know why anybody wants to go, but as technology gets better and nuclear, it's going to have to be nuclear unless they come up with something my mind can't fathom. But we're going to need some sort of energy that can sustain us on another planet, because the atmospheres don't work. So if this comes to fruition, the first person who comes up with that idea wins, right?
Yes, and of course you're right. We need then nuclear energy as we need it on Earth, and also on Mars. But what is the most important thing? We need private property. Why? Because on Earth, no system worked without private property. We had 224 experiments with socialism without private property, and none of them worked. Yeah. And why should something work on Mars or on Moon that didn't work on Earth? And I think this is the reason why we aren't there. It's now more than 50 years ago that the first men were on the moon, and after this, nothing happened. And I think the reason is because there was no incentive. In the 60s, it was crystal clear. It was a space race between the United States and Soviet Union, who is better, capitalism or socialism. But now, after they planted the flag on the moon, the wind was out of the sail. There was no motivation, no reason. And I think there should be money make the world go round. And this is also true in space. We need private property to finance it, because I think these things can't be financed by taxpayers' money.
No.
It's impossible.
It
should be financed by private companies. Like we have now this incredible SpaceX. I in my book I have data. Everyone was surprised when they read it. From 324 rocket launches last year worldwide, 165 were SpaceX. So it means if SpaceX were a country, it would be number one, far ahead of China with 88. And so you see, this is a shift that a lot of people didn't realize, the shift from government-led spaceflight to private spaceflight. And Elon Musk was able to reduce the launch cost. It means the cost to bring 1 kilo to space 95%. 95%.
He's also the reason we got the astronauts off of the space station. So we need to remember, because we've got a bunch of little commies running around thinking we just haven't done it right yet. They're idiots. We've got Mom Dummy in New York screwing up the entire city. And then we've got people who don't believe anyone should own anything and that everything belongs to everyone. So if we are going to make it a private sort of new space capitalism, as your book is entitled, and your book is fantastic, by the way, people should read it and they should buy it. It's available everywhere. But if we're going to colonize Mars, there are going to have to be borders because we're not going to be the only ones there. But I guarantee Elon Musk is going to be the first one there.
I would guess he can be the first one with his Starship. And I think, if people ask me who should own private property, of course, not you and I, because first, we are not able to go there.
I don't have the money.
Thing, yes, we don't have the money to go there. The third thing, we don't want to take the risk to go there. Mm-hmm. But I think it should the land or Mars should belong to those people who have the money, who take the risk, who have the technical possibilities. Of course, not the whole planet. But let's give me an example. If SpaceX would be able to go there to Mars, they should take an area maybe the size of Singapore. Mars is 200,000 times the size of Singapore, so it's much more land for everyone else. Mm-hmm. And then, this is my idea, he should bring it to the stock exchange, to the New York Stock Exchange, so that everyone, you and I, we can buy shares of this real estate investment trust, REIT, and then the Mars would belong in the end to the shareholders. And I like this idea much more than the Mars belongs to no one, this is a socialist idea, or that it belongs to the government.
See, people are calling you crazy right now, and I disagree with them because space is the future. I was so excited when we developed a Space Force, but it's the future. It's the only other place. The planet's going to be full at some point. We got to go somewhere. So I don't think our technology is keeping up with the need. But once we do get to Mars, it's going to be a whole different kind of, we got to get it ready for, just humans to be there. So it's going to have to be, if other countries want to go too, they're going to have to work together, but they're going to have to understand that it's owned by somebody else. They're going to be visitors.
Yes, and I think, of course, you're right. Most of the people would like to stay on Earth. You, and most of them. But we are here, 6 billion people, and I think there are enough people. Maybe Musk's idea is to settle 1 million, and I'm absolutely sure that 1 million out of 6 or 7 billion people would like to go there. Mm-hmm. But of course, it will work in the same way as as it happened in the history of America, when the squatters were there and the settlers. They wanted to have a piece of land, of course, and they got this piece of land. They took it, and later it was legalized by the Homesteading Act. And I'm a historian, and I'm not any science fiction author. I look what happened in the history, and we know things will happen in a similar way as they happened in the history of of America. And this will be the next frontier.
We can't take the unproven green ideas that Germany has suffered greatly because they went all in on it. But we have to come up with new technology. It can't take us 5 years to get to Mars or whatever it is, 3.5 years to get to Mars. We're going to have to find a way to go faster, because if something happens, we're gonna need to be able to get there. And we can't wait years for it to happen. So nothing is going to happen until we figure that out.
Unfortunately, it's not so long. It's a long way. You are correct. To go to the moon, it's only a few days. To go to Mars, now it's like 7 months, and you can go there only every 26 months. There is a window of opportunity to go there. Now we need like 7 or 8 months to go there, and of course then we have to go back. But you're correct. I believe in nuclear energy. This is the next thing, and then maybe we can even go there faster to Mars.
Do you think there's water there? Because I really feel like if we had, I don't know, the technology to go there and really do some expeditions on whether or not there is water under the surface, I honestly think they're going to find some. It's just too cold at the surface.
Yes. The good news is scientists agree today there's a lot of water. There's a plenty of water, but frozen. All frozen today. But of course, you can make it liquid again. There were huge oceans on Mars. We know it in the past when it was warmer. But later they are frozen. And also on asteroids, we have a lot of water, but frozen. And we have, if we are talking about asteroids, we have a lot of platinum there and even gold and resources. And yes, it's everything there that we need. And of course, water is absolutely essential. Without water, no living is possible. We need it to drink, to wash, to shower. But also we can make propulsion from water if we split it in oxygen and hydrogen. So this is the good news. It's all there, and we have the technical abilities. I had a conversation when I wrote my book with Harry Jones from NASA. And he's old. He's more than 80 years. He worked for 60 years in space. And he sent me a fascinating paper. And the title of the paper was, "There are no showstoppers on our way to Mars." There are a lot of challenges. He mentioned 7 big challenges, but he said all of them, we can solve all of them today. But so the question is, why aren't we there? And my answer is because we need economic incentives. We need private property there. Without private property, no system works on Earth. Look at Korea. It doesn't work because you don't have private property there. And why should it work on Mars if it works nowhere in the world? And this is a very important point in my book.
And we've got to wrap it up here. We've only got about 45 seconds left, but nuclear energy takes water to cool the whatever you call them. I can't think of words right now, but to cool it. And the water is there. So nuclear would work on Mars. We just have to do it. All right, Mars Colonization and the Economic Future of SpaceX. You are the author of The New Space Capitalism, The Entrepreneurial Path to the Stars, Rainier Ziedelman. Thank you, sir, for being on the show once again. I appreciate you.
I appreciate it very much. Please order the book right now, New Space Capitalism. You will find it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Everybody
Thank you.
Get it. Bye-bye, Mr. Ziedelman. Bye-bye.